Unfortunately, Minamushi has died. The actor, popularly known as Minamushi, has passed on. So this information started circulating on a number of platforms last evening, and it was confirmed by the family that no, the actor that has been highly celebrated in Zambia for his comedic prowess has passed on. So this was confirmed by the family later on. So according to breaking news, popular comedian Rabam Mwape, that's his actual government name, Rabam Mwape, aka Minamushi, has died. His brother Owasre Mwape has confirmed. So unfortunately, we have lost that creative man, popularly known as Minamushi. He has passed on, and the family has confirmed. And then some of the news circulating is coming off that say he died from BP, so blood pressure. It's yet to be confirmed later on, but most of the headlines are leading towards that confirmation to say it was a situation of blood pressure that he died from. And then in other news in South Africa, breaking reports coming out of South Africa suggest the remains of former President Edgar Lungu may have been secretly shifted to Spain as his family and government engage in protracted legal battle over burial. So Kalemba put up this news headline, should have been mid-afternoon yesterday, and it got wave. A number of platforms picked it up. I think the way things are at the moment, people are just starving for updates, and now they're just throwing any sort of news out there just to get some traction. Because if you remember, over the weekend, it started with a news headline to say the former First Lady Esther Lungu had instructed that the body of Edgar Chakalungu be cremated. Then that was disputed, but the family spokesperson did not speak about that. That news simply died down to say no, his body has not been cremated. Then later on, I've just forgotten, there was another wave of information that came up. And then as of yesterday, this came up to say, according to Kalemba, they put up that information to say, according to their sources, Edgar Shagalungu has been moved from South Africa to Spain. And obviously, that news headline was tagged as fake. Obviously, all the Patriotic Front platforms put it up and say that's a fake news. And Kalemba doubled down. They went further to say plan body. If you remember, right before Edgar Shagalungu died, when he lost that constitutional court hearing, he said to say, in as much as he's been tagged not to stand in the 2026 election based off the constitutional ruling, the Patriotic Front and he himself had a plan B. So now Kalemba is suggesting there to say, actually, the plan B is the body itself. As you can see, they are playing with words there, say plan B, body, there, as you can see. So they double down on their area caption. And obviously, Chief Etayari weighed in, say, imwe na imwe. You think a body can be exported like frozen tilapia? Why would Spain receive Ichitumbi of Edgar Lungu? For what? And South Africa would South Africa would want to risk its diplomatic relations for Esther and Makebi jokes. He simply says, I mean, that news headline carried by Kalemba has no credibility at all. That was Chief Diary jabbing at that, simply saying South Africa cannot want to jeopardize the relationship that it has with Zambia based off personal interests of the people around that. And not only that, of what benefit will it be for Spain to decide to receive Edgar Shagalungu's body? So he was just repeating that. And then Emmanuel Mwamba simply asked Kalemba to apologize because he put up a document of the requirements of moving a body. So the requirements and process for issuance of permits to import and export human remains, or pretty much the body. I referred to South African Health Code and what is stipulated according to the publication of 2024. And the process is very tedious. So he put up this article on the Patriotic Front platform. He says, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba wrote, Kalemba Online newspaper needs to apologize to the Edgar Chagalungu family for their malicious and defamatory article that the body and the mortal remains of our late president were exported to Spain. A casual perusal of the documents required for a foreign national to be repatriated to a third country, the authorization and the process required among the parties, that's the Zambian government, the South African government, and Spain, makes a story of utterly malicious and dangerous. I advise Kalemba to apologize. I advise Kalemba to apologize to Edgar Shagalungu family for the story, for the harm it has done to the family. This is not propaganda. This is criminal, Emmanuel Mwamba says. So he simply says the South African law does not just allow for people just to easily move a body and worse off a presidential a person that was president. His body requires certain obviously protocols for it to be moved. You can't just be picking up as if as Shufatari said, as if you're picking up a tilapia or something like that. So Emmanuel Mwamba has demanded an apology from Kalemba on behalf of the family, and he put up those publications of what is required. The Department of Health, Republic of South Africa, those requirements does not allow that. And then obviously, Lungu body not moved. The family of former President Edgar Lungu has dismissed the fake news reported suggesting that his remains may have been secretly moved to Spain amid ongoing talks with the Zambian government over the burial site. Family spokesperson Makebi Zulu said the family will not dignify such reports with a response. Mr. Lungu died in South Africa on June 5th, 2025, and issues surrounding his burial site remain unresolved. Although the Pretoria High Court ordered that the body be repatriated to Zambia for the state funeral, the Lungu family has appealed against the decision, arguing that it disregards the family's wishes. Their decision has stalled, the discussions as stalled as the repatriation process and even as the formal talks with the Zambian government continue. And as of August 20th, 2025, Mr. Lungu's body was still being kept at Two Mountains Burial Service in South Africa. In a letter to both the family and the Zambian government, the company confirmed that the late president's remains have been in storage pending resolution of the disputes. That is in court. It further cautioned that while the body has been embodied and extended, has been embalmed, and the extended storage could, over time, lead to certain signs of deterioration. So that was a communication that came from the morgue that is underlying the body of the late president, simply saying, yes, in as much as he has been embalmed, if the body is kept for a long period of time, obviously signs will start showing of deterioration of his body. And then the Patriotic Front is celebrating Danny Young has been appointed. So I would like to express my profound gratitude on my appointment as a Patriotic Front Central Committee and further Deputy Chairperson for Mobilization. So PF seems to be gearing up for elections. While it's in Malawi, it seems like Peter Mutharika has won those elections from the margins that are coming off. So results from 24 councils totals. Peter Mutharika, 2 million, Lazarus Chakwera, just barely 700,000, and the difference is 1.2 million between the front runners. And people have been issuing congratulatory messages towards Peter Mutharika, simply saying he's won those elections. They might as well just announce them at this point. And obviously, Mao Sampa Matero, Member of Parliament, weighs in. He says, as was predicted, a landslide being confirmed out of Malawi by their ECZ equivalent. The Longo and Blantyre officially taken by Adebwele Lapo. They are Papa. So he's simply saying, and now you see what has happened in Malawi might happen in Zambia. That's what he's trying to insinuate there. As you can see, as people build up towards the 2026 election in Zambia, it goes further. This is still Mao Sampa, Material Member of Parliament, says breaking out of Malawi, says the outgoing president Lazarus Chakwera has started packing and moving his belongings from Kamuzu Palace to his private residence. And then he puts up that image. I highly doubt that is the actual place. And the presidents, in as much as the president loses, they don't move out immediately. It's an entire process. Anyway, he's just pushing this agenda to celebrate that victory, that side. Well, the ambassadors and the ambassador, high commissioner walks in the office and does not greet the people he works with. Must I teach you everything? How are you going to work with people you cannot even greet? President Hichilema tells diplomats. So this is a statement that the president was saying yesterday when he was showing new ambassador and high commission. Say most of the people that is appointing are going in the offices. They're not even greeting the subordinates in those offices. Then how do you expect them to serve you well and or work with you if you are barely even able to say hello to them? That was the president reprimanding those diplomats during that ceremony. So President Hichilema swears in new ambassadors for United Arab Emirates, Russia, and Ethiopia. So those three ambassadors were being sworn in, and he was questioning them uh, as they were coming in. He further says this is still the president. 4 years down the road, some ambassadors have not brought any investment back home. We know them. They think they are on holiday. Hakainde. Hichilema says there. So the president says some of the people that is appointed 4 years down the line have not done anything credible to bring some sort of investment back home. They think they are on holiday there. What is the Daily Mail says the deliver envoy sold foreign postings not for personal comfort, says Hakainde Hichilema. So that news headline still being carried all over the place. And then news diggers carries compounds are now receiving up to 15 hours of electricity. We have worked, claims government there with regard to the load shedding. UN quizzes Hakainde Hichilema over abuses, citing harassment, arrests of journalists for their work. That's what's going on in the mass newspaper. And then over 2026 budget to put agriculture first. And then obviously Hakainde Hichilema blasts lazy ambassadors, says he's not amused that some envoys have not been impressive in their performance of duties. Accuses them of taking their diplomatic duty as a holiday instead of attracting investment. So that news being carried now in the Daily Nation there. And that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. So the body of the late president, Edgar Lungu, has not been moved anywhere. That's fake news, in short. That's what has been confirmed by the family and the Patriotic Front.